Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an SU-122A. It's the Tier 5 Soviet SPG. It's located on the northeast spawn of Glacier and it's under the command of Running Hawk. Game started. Now, the SU-122A. Well, it's a bit of an odd duck because this Arty really didn't exist in this format. The SU-122 did exist, but it was a completely different vehicle. It looked very much like an SU-152, the tank destroyer, but it was an Arty. It was capable of throwing shells like a howitzer would. And this one, well, it's got a 152mm howitzer armed on it, and Running Hawk has decided to climb up the cliff edge, and he's firing from up high. Now, this is one of the more difficult Artys to play at Tier 5. In fact, I regard it as probably the most difficult, and the reason for that is it's got a very narrow arc of fire, as you can see there on the minimap. Very narrow indeed. And that means if you adjust your aim, you get a big reticule bloom all of a sudden, just as he just did just there. And that means aiming at a new target can sometimes be a bit frustrating because you're dialing on a target and all of a sudden you get a bit of reticule bloom and you have to start all over again. But he's fired a round in at that AMX ELC and unfortunately he didn't hit it. Now, the other annoying thing about it was not just the long reload, but also the fact that you only get 15 shots in a battle, and a limited amount of ammunition means you have to pick your targets well or you may run out of ammo before the end of the game. Okay, looking towards the south, from this spot you can actually see the enemy tanks are sort of like queuing up, and that makes it easier to get hits on them if you know when to fire. He's going to go for that Stug 3G, I think, or is he going to go for one of the others? Lining up a shot, rounds out, and well, he stunned one of them, the VK3002M. Now, you do get stunned because this is a 152mm howitzer, and anything over 15cm you're going to get some stun from. Okay, now the linchpin of that group seems to be that Stug 3G, who's holding off just behind that rock, but he's pulled back. And their VK3002 is gone. They've pushed through him, now it's just this Stug 3G and that Skoda T24. Well, we can't hit the Stug. Oh, we can now, but can we get that Skoda? We're not loaded yet, and he's gone. So our team are doing rather well. They're 4 tanks up on the enemy, and it looks like one of the enemy heavy tanks has broken through from the northwest corner, and thankfully Running Hawk has noticed that, and he's rearranged his aim to hit the T29, Tier 7 American heavy. And as such, that means he's going to earn a lot more XP from hitting this target than he would from hitting a lower tier one. 2 tiers difference. Well, he's got his first hit for 212. But he really needs the SU-85 that's near the cap to hold back that those enemy tanks. Oh, here comes a IKV-65. And from this perch we're in a bit of danger really, because we might be spotted by the enemy, and the M44 came up here as well, which means we haven't got that much room to move around him. In fact, you can see there's a red line there now, and I think that red line's coming about because the M44 is taking up our spot, and now we can't shoot at the enemy. In fact, actually given the M44 a nudge to go down and say shotgun that IKV. And Running Hawk's going to do the same if he comes around the corner. You can see the reload time now, 25.53 seconds. It's one of the highest reload times at Tier 5. And it's very, very inconvenient. The M44 has been hit by the IKV. He did fire his howitzer. And he's trying to get his reload. There's the IKV. Did he do some damage? I think he may have. Oh, aim. Yes! Gets the shotgun. And he did stun his M44 teammate, but I think the both of them together did actually do the job. Now the EBR, well, unfortunately he crashed, so that wasn't very helpful. The M44 will need to pull back. He does have a good reload, Running Hawk's almost reloaded. He's going to go for another shotgun, I think. Here we go. Yes, he gets the shotgun in, but the T-29's not killed, so he's pulling back as he's reloading. I'm not sure if he'll get another chance to shoot, but it looks like the T-29 is ignoring him. Looks like the T-29's more interested in that T-34S, and he's losing hit points, and Running Hawk might be able to get another shotgun. But he fell over that ramp there, so he can't get back up. Oh, and the enemy is firing this way, but he can probably shotgun that T-29 when he comes over the edge. Now, let's see if he can do that. Oh, T-29's gone down. Can he get a shot into this KV-2? Well, he does. And the KV-2 jumps on top of him, unfortunately. And that's the end of Running Hawk's game. The enemy is ahead at the moment by one tank. And they have the KV-2 capping. But we're ahead on the cap, because we're at the other end in the T-29 of our own. And it looks like the enemy has made a bit of a cock up. Yep, because they've got nobody at the other end to reset the cap. And unless they get another tank in the caps quickly, there's no way that they can win this game. They're going to be capped out. Oh, no, I say that, and they now have... Oh, the OI is getting into the cap. Will he get in time? Well, they just lost their KV-2, killed by our KV-1. And their Fifi, their 105 FH18B2, has turned up at the cap, and he did get a reset. Okay, but now he's going to get absolutely nuked by this T-29. T-29 needs to fix his tracks and move. Change position. Well, he needs to take out that KV-1S. I don't understand why he keeps changing his aim. The KV-1S is by far the bigger target at the moment. The Leffy's gone down. He was just taken out by our Gorilla. So we need to finish off that KV-1S. Yes, their Arty knows where he is, so the T-29 needs to move. In the meantime, our T-34S is headed this way, and I think he's probably going to try and find the enemy Arty. Maybe he'll be able to get shots on that KV-1S as well. Come on, T-34S. Well, our Gorilla is doing a sterling job because he's actually hit that KV-1S. Sorry, it keeps switching backwards and forth here, but Running Hawk doesn't know which tank to follow next. Well, he's been hit by the Arty again, so that Arty must be fairly close. And my guess is that Arty is to the east. And is he going to go after and take out this KV-1S? I think he can do it. Only 3 hit points. Oh, and he's killed by the T-34S. So now he can cap, safe in the knowledge that the enemy Arty won't know where he is. Especially if he keeps changing position. There's plenty of time left, actually. He could go looking for that enemy Arty. Now, I think he's actually further to the east. I don't think he's actually to the west, because he wouldn't have been able to loop the shot over this rock into the T-29. The only way you could hit it from that position would be if he was actually to the east. So it might be the Gorilla who spots the Arty first. We'll have to see. Well, the enemy Arty can't see them unless he's got visual line of sight, and if he did have visual line of sight, they'd probably see him. So I'm guessing, and I still think he's actually further off to the east. If they get into the cap, he'll have to come out to try and get a reset. And the Gorilla's about to enter the cap. He is in the cap now, and so is the T-29, but he needs to move away from the spot he occupied before, because that's the first place that the enemy Arty's going to fire at. Thinking this guy's a creature of habit, he's gone back to the same spot. And the T-34's moved into the cap as well. I think the enemy Arty is over in those trees. Over there. The Gorilla didn't look in those trees. Oh, and the enemy Arty's actually made his way all the way to our cap, and he's now capping. Which is a bit of a waste, really. Because he can't win from there. And that's it. Game's over. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was an ace tanker for Running Hawk in the SU-122A. That brief encounter with a T-29, an IKV-65, and of course the bottom of a KV-2 actually ended up with an ace tanker game. And that indicates to me that it is still one of the most difficult arties to play. That's why you get an ace tanker from very little. The win rate for that game was 2669. Now, I'm sure that Running Hawk doesn't mind me saying that that was very little effort to get an ace tanker, but yeah, technically it is. If you look at the damage during that game, the Gorilla did 2,036 hit points of damage. He picked up the high caliber and a Gauze medal, and then the M10 RBFM got 1530, and in fact their OI Experimental got 1695. And off just 1,053 hit points, Running Hawk managed to get an ace tanker. He got 1 kill, and he also did 717 base experience points, whilst the Gorilla did 984 and the M10 did 820. He fired 7 rounds in that game to actually get an ace. 4 direct hits, no penetrations, and 8 splash. Damage of 1,053 hit points, got 332 of which was at more than 300 meters. He hit 5 of the enemy, killed 1 of them, and did 391 hit points of damage assist, and got 5 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 32,133 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 24,873 credits. He got 1,075 XP, times 2 for the first victory, took away 2,151 experience points altogether. Now, I think the thing is, it's very nice to get an ace tanker, but as I say, Running Hawk does actually play it rather well, and even though it's a difficult arty to play, and that's why he got an ace. But if you want to get an ace in one of your arties, then this is the one I think to do, because if you practice enough, you can do rather nicely in it. In fact, actually, this was the first arty that I ever marked, and I did it because I actually did enjoy playing it, funnily enough. Anyway, if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. We have plenty of videos going up, and from different types of vehicles, both arty and tanks, so you're bound to find something that you'll like. Thanks for watching.